Hi, everybody. Welcome to this week's Weekly Roundup. I have a page-and-a-half list, but I'm going to try to get through it quickly. So first things first, today and tomorrow are Poppy Day here in the city. The red poppy is recognized as a symbol of the wartime supreme sacrifice. And what you'll see around the community is the American Legion Auxiliary will be selling poppies at the storefronts like you've seen in the past. I have mine on today. I'm just encouraging our community today and tomorrow and every day to wear the poppy in remembrance of those who paid the ultimate price for our freedom. Released this week was the city's second annual report. I'm really proud of the work that we've put into producing this report to provide transparency to you all and the work that we're doing and to bring you in on the investments that you make and what the fruit of that labor is. So if you go to the plans and reports section on the city website, you'll see a bunch of different reports, frankly, but the one that you'll want to go to is the annual report for 2020. And it's a nice, quick read. It's maybe 10, 12 pages that provides a good summary of the high-level work, not the day-to-day, number of calls we had in the clerk's office, or the number of visitors that came into City Hall, but a lot of the high-level work that you would interact with every day. I have a few construction updates, and I'm going to try to provide these in the weekly roundup with some regularity so that you have awareness as you move about the community of what roads may be closed or what's happening on a particular road. So I've talked a few times about the patch on 3rd Street, kind of right after the Western Avenue four-way stop. So that patch is getting prepped. I think, frankly, they started this week and then next week. And then at the end of the month is when the paver's coming to town and they will pave over that patch. So you're going to see some work happening next week, but please know you're not going to see pavement until the end of the month. Also happening at the end of the month, finally, and hopefully, fingers crossed, is that 3rd Street Railroad crossing right by Clark Street. We're working in conjunction with the railroad to get that bump smoothed out over that crossing. I have to give a lot of kudos to our city team and to Alderperson Bartz, who's done a ton of work in making sure that we can get this fixed. So you should see that repair happening at the end of this month. Road reconstruction-wise, we are still in the South 3rd Street area, and we'll be there probably until about June. So ironically, all three of these things are happening in that same area. So if you live there, please continue to bear with us. Obviously, the end result is going to be worth it. And then something that's new and exciting to talk about is the Interurban Trail. So the Interurban Trail is a wonderful bike path right on the southeast side of the community. And we have been planning for a couple of years through work with a DNR grant to build a bona fide trailhead. So there will be a bathroom, a parking lot, permeable pavers, permeable asphalt, a kiosk that the school, Watertown High School, is preparing. Really just an improvement in the amenities and in the parking, and we're excited that it's finally coming to pass. So construction on the trailhead, we just approved the contracts, will begin now in the coming weeks. You'll see the bathroom go up first, and then some of the extra amenities like permeable pavement and permeable asphalt, those things will come later this summer. We have been trying to be informative about the positive growth that we've had in the community. So we've been working towards once a month providing a post on our building construction and new building permits, demolition permits, all that type of positive growth that is tangible and measurable. So we just received April's reports, so watch for a post on that next week. And then I'm really excited to continue to provide updates on major infill, so major neighborhood infill. So when you think major neighborhoods, you'll kind of think they're on kind of the four corners of the city, really. And there's a couple of pockets in all of those neighborhoods that need infill, so need homes, condominiums built into them. And I'm excited that we're continuing to make good progress there. The Grandview Heights, which is on the northeast side of the city, that plat was just recently approved, which just is another step in paving the way to continuing that infill. And then Hep Heights, which is off of Milford Street on the southwest side of the city, that construction has continued and we're continuing to have single-family homes built. So here in the community, our need for housing, it's not unique. We need housing throughout the country and in particular in Wisconsin, but in Watertown, in our area, our housing stock is so limited. So any type of housing, whether it's multifamily housing, single-family housing, workforce housing, high rent apartments, we need them all. So things like this are really positive for our city. Just as an FYI, the Main Street Task Force met for the first time about 3 weeks ago. We're going to attempt at this point to meet every 3 weeks. So they're meeting next Tuesday at 10 a.m. and we're doing those both virtual and in person. I know 10 a.m. can be a tough time for some people, so what we're trying to do is offer it both virtual and in person. If we get enough requests, we'll certainly record those meetings and make them available to people. But we have a lot of members of the public and members of the business community, and we're trying to be cognizant of the time that works best for them. And now that I say it, I don't think we did decide on 10 a.m. I think we went a bit later, more towards lunchtime. So please do this. If you're interested in attending either virtually or in person, the Main Street Task Force meeting, check the meeting notice on the city website, because I think we moved it a little closer to lunchtime to accommodate that. I have a wide variety of random reminders. So here we go. Hydrant flushing has been happening, and I know it caught me off guard, and I told you it would happen. I was driving down the road, and I'm like, oh my goodness, what's going on? And I remembered hydrant flushing. So we're going to be continuing with that next week. If you see a large amount of water, take a look around. You'll probably see one of our water employees out there flushing hydrants. We posted this week, but now is a good time for a reminder as well. The city got rid of burn permits, so private burn permits. Like if I'm going to have a fire in my backyard to do s'mores, in 2018, we got rid of the need for that permit. However, it's really important to remember that there's still regulations and code around what can be burned. And almost equally as importantly this time of year is the DNR has burn restrictions as well. And they have a really nice website that you can simply just Google like DNR burn restrictions. And it'll take you to a map you can pick by county, and it'll tell you if it's low, medium, or high risk for fire with burning. So please know you don't have to get a permit from us, but there's still rules and regulations and frankly safety concerns to be mindful of. And you can find those in our city code and on the DNR's website. Just another plug for TextMyGov. We had a good reason for it this week. We had 2 water main breaks, unfortunately, in the same area. So enrolling in TextMyGov is going to be a great way for you to get those alerts. So you can find information for that right on the city homepage. We are still in need of some summer help at parks, streets, water, and the aquatic center. So if you're interested in working for the city this summer seasonally, those positions are posted and you can apply pretty quickly right on the city website. And then something that's a little bit government-y is this process during property tax assessment called open book. And what that means is if you had a change in your assessment, you got a letter from our assessment contractor. And in that, they said you can attend open book or schedule an appointment with them. So if you received one of those letters because your assessment changed, you can certainly have a conversation with the assessor just by calling the letter or calling the number in the letter and setting up a phone call with them. Or next week, we're having open book on the 12th from 2 to 4, and then we'll make that connection with the assessor for you if you choose to come. So if you have questions on that, give a call to the clerk's office. Programming-wise, just a couple of updates. We are starting to enter into Watercraft season. So Watercraft 101 for kayaks, which is a new course we're offering. It's just a 2-week course, June 16th to 30th in the evenings. It's a great way to get comfortable and learn the basics and the safety aspects of kayaking. We're also doing watercraft rentals, and those opened last weekend. We had some rentals, which is fantastic. We have single kayaks, tandem kayaks, and stand-up paddle boards. So check out the Park and Rec page for more information on that. And then Little Sluggers, which is baseball for ages 4 to 5, so some of our younger children. It starts mid-June, but registration is still open. So if you're interested in that, the rec desk is the place to register for that. And day camp, which I've talked about a few times, registration is still open. And to buy a pool pass. So you can buy the Aquatic Center Summer Pool Pass right on rec desk. We will provide an updated few informational pieces next week about the Aquatic Center. So if you want to hold on until that comes out, please watch it. I'd say probably early next week. You probably saw this week, if you're a library patron or a library regular, that the library will be on pause for 3 weeks, and for good reason. We're able to make one of the first really big moves. So coming up May 24th, the library will be on pause for 3 weeks, which means May 14th is your last day to pick up your holds. May 15th, we start to do some pausing on materials that are coming in. May 23rd is the last day to check out items. And then May 24th is when the book drop closes. So we will not be doing phone or printing service. We will try our best to answer Facebook and email inquiries as we can. Digital resources will still be available. And I know that was a lot of dates. So the take home is, if this is a regular part of your routine, call the library, check out their website, check out their Facebook, understand the process for the next few weeks so that you're not caught off guard. Also with the library, the Summer Library Reading Challenge is going to be Tales and Tales, which is catchy, and the registration for that opens, I think, next week. So last 2 things, COVID update, we did update the post. We did receive approval from the Board of Health. So if you follow that our page, you would have seen on Wednesday, We updated the image, and we moved away from the phased reopening plan to just general COVID-19 guidance. We did make some separations for vaccinated and non-vaccinated, but it's meant to just be a good informational document to help our community make informed decisions. So you can find that linked on our Facebook or on the COVID page on the website. We did recently transition, and now I think officially transitioning all of our clinics to walk-in. So if you see us advertising for a clinic, please know you can walk in and receive your vaccine. And then lastly, this week was Public Service Recognition Week, and I would be remiss to not thank our city team, who has just done a tremendous job in a year that was trying for everyone in so many ways, personally and professionally. Being in government, it was certainly challenging. So I would be just remiss to not tell them how much I appreciate them, and I'm sure how much this community appreciates all the work they do as well. It was also ironically Municipal Clerks Week, and talk about a year like no other, a 4-election year during a pandemic, and our clerk's office really stepped up and went above and beyond. Next week is National Police Week, so we get to continue honoring our city staff who have just had to be nimble in every sense of the word. And provide excellent service. So I look forward to highlighting them next week. It seems like the weather should be pretty good for this weekend. It's a little windy yet today, but check out, Brent Quirk. They have the Storybook Trail. Our walking trail maps are out and a great resource. I see them a lot in the newspaper as well. Hit our bike trails, watercraft rentals, so many options. But no matter what you do, please make sure you tell the moms in your life or those serving as mothers in your lives, Happy Mother's Day. From one mother to another, I wish you a happy Mother's Day, and have a good weekend, everybody. We'll see you back next week.